The sky above Mordor blazed with the fiery fury of battle as the forces of darkness clashed against the dwindling hope of the free peoples. Amidst the chaos of the battlefield, shadowy figures emerged from the depths of Minas Morgul, their cloaks billowing ominously in the acrid air. The Nazgûl, their presence a chilling reminder of the Dark Lord's relentless pursuit of the One Ring, rode out to do battle. But as the tides of war shifted and fate hung in the balance, what destiny awaited these spectral warriors in the crucible of conflict? In the dark shadows of the Second Age, when the world still bore the scars of its tumultuous birth, the Dark Lord Sauron, master of shadows and deceit, cast his gaze upon the realms of Middle-earth. Disguised as Anatar, the Lord of Gifts, he ventured into the heart of Erechion, where the skilled elven jewel smiths toiled at their forges. Under the guise of a benefactor from the Valar, the fallen Maya offered his counsel and aid to the craftsmen, whispering promises of great power and glory. Together, they crafted the Rings of Power, symbols of unparalleled might and splendor. Yet, hidden within the gleaming bands of gold and mithril lay the seeds of darkness, sown by Sauron's own hand. Crafting the One Ring in the fiery depths of Mount Doom, Sauron infused it with his malevolent will, binding the other rings to his dominion. But what fate awaited those who would accept his gifts? What shadows lurked behind the facade of power and grandeur? With cunning and guile, Sauron approached the proud lords of the dwarves, tempting them to take 7 of the rings with promises of endless riches and unyielding strength. And to the kings and rulers of men, he offered 9 rings of power, kindling the flames of their ambition and pride. In their arrogance, the dwarves and men embraced these gifts, blinded by the allure of power and greatness. Little did they know, they had become ensnared in Sauron's intricate web of deceit, their souls bound to the One Ring and its master. Once hailed as the sovereigns of men, their crowns adorned with the weight of kingdoms and the hopes of their people, the rulers of men fell into the abyss of Sauron's deceit. The promise of the Rings of Power seduced them, whispering sweet promises of dominion and immortality. As the rings ensnared their souls, the corruption began its insidious work. At first, it was subtle, a slight shift in their gaze, a tightening of their grip on power. But soon, the darkness consumed them, poisoning their minds and hearts with the malevolent essence of the Dark Lord. Their kingdoms, once bastions of light and prosperity, crumbled beneath the weight of their folly. The lands that had flourished under their rule now lay barren and desolate, the echoes of their subjects' cries lost in the winds of despair. Driven by madness and desperation, the kings turned to Sauron, seeking solace in the darkness that had ensnared them. But there was no redemption to be found, only further entrapment in the web of shadow and malice woven by the Dark Lord. Thus, they became the Nazgûl, twisted and contorted by the power they had so recklessly pursued. Stripped of their humanity, they became vessels of darkness, their once proud spirits extinguished in the cold embrace of servitude. Bound to Sauron's will for all eternity, they became the instruments of his wrath, the specters of fear that haunted the darkest corners of Middle-earth. And so, from kings to wraiths, their tragic descent into oblivion served as a chilling testament to the corrupting influence of power and pride, casting a long shadow over the fate of all who dared to wield the Rings of Power. As the years unfolded, the Nine cast aside the remnants of their mortal selves, embracing their new existence as wraiths of shadow and malice. No longer bound by the constraints of mortal flesh, they extended their reach beyond the borders of their former realms, becoming the feared enforcers of Sauron's malevolent will. From the frozen wastes of Angmar to the sun-baked plains of Harad, their ominous presence loomed large, casting a pall of dread over all who dared to oppose the Dark Lord. Yet their most insidious task was the relentless pursuit of the One Ring. Forged in the fires of Mount Doom by their master, the ring was the pinnacle of Sauron's power, and the Nazgûl spared no effort in their quest to reclaim it. From the moment it slipped from Sauron's grasp, they scoured the lands of Middle-earth, hunting for any sign of its whereabouts. Their pursuit took them to the far corners of the world, from the hidden realms of the elves to the forgotten lands of the dwarves. They spared no one in their search, leaving a trail of death and destruction in their wake. Yet despite their relentless efforts, the ring remained elusive, slipping through their fingers time and time again. But as the shadows deepened and the forces of darkness gathered for war, the Nazgûl knew that their time was drawing near. The stage was set for the final confrontation between light and darkness, and they would play a pivotal role in the conflict to come. As the drums of war echoed across the land, the Nazgûl rode forth once more, their black cloaks billowing in the wind, their eyes burning with an unquenchable hunger for power and conquest. As the War of the Ring unfolded, the Nazgûl emerged as Sauron's most terrifying and formidable servants, their spectral forms striking fear into the hearts of all who beheld them. Mounted upon their fell steeds, they led the dark legions of Mordor with an air of malevolence, their very presence suffusing the battlefield with an aura of dread and despair. Throughout the conflict, the Nazgûl played a pivotal role in Sauron's bid for dominion over Middle-earth. From the plains of Rohan to the fields of Gondor, they led relentless assaults on the forces of the Free Peoples, their dark influence casting a pall over the land. Yet, it was during the Battle of the Pelennor Fields that their dark reign met its most decisive challenge. At the forefront of the assault was the Witch King of Angmar, the most feared leader of the Nazgûl, his presence instilling terror in all who stood against him. It was here that the tide of battle turned, as the combined efforts of Éowyn, Shield Maiden of Rohan, and Merry, a hobbit of the Shire, led to the Witch King's ultimate downfall. Merry, wielding an enchanted blade wrought by the smiths of Arthedain for battle against Angmar, struck the first blow, piercing the Witch King's spectral form and weakening his dark power. Then, Éowyn, defying the odds and the Witch King's own prophecy, delivered the final decisive strike, sundering his form and breaking his hold over the armies of Mordor. But even as the Witch King fell, the fires of Mount Doom roared to life, engulfing the land in a cataclysmic eruption and sealing the fate of the Nine. With the destruction of the One Ring, the source of their power and enslavement, their spirits were rent asunder, consumed by the flames of their own making. Sensing the imminent danger to their master, they rushed towards the heart of the fiery chasm, driven by a primal instinct to protect the source of their power. Yet their efforts were in vain, for as the molten lava engulfed the slopes of the mountain, the Nazgûl were consumed by the inferno, their dark forms swallowed by the relentless onslaught of fire and ash. Though they fought with a ferocity born of desperation, their dark blades slashing through the air in a futile attempt to defy their doom, they were powerless to escape the fiery maw of Mount Doom. And so, as the ground trembled and the sky darkened with ash, the Nazgûl met their ignominious end, their spirits extinguished in the fiery crucible of their own making. As the eruption subsided and the fires of Mount Doom faded into embers, the land lay scarred and ravaged, yet free from the tyranny of Sauron and his servants. The Nazgûl, once the terror of Middle-earth, were no more, their dark reign brought to an end by the very power they had sought to wield. And so, as the sun rose upon a new day in Middle-earth, the lands were cleansed of the shadow of Sauron, and the Free Peoples rejoiced in their hard-won victory. Though these scars of war would linger for generations to come, the darkness that had threatened to engulf the world was banished forever, and the Nazgûl, once feared and dreaded, became naught but a distant memory, a dark chapter in the tales of Middle-earth. Embark on a mythical journey into Tolkien's realm, where the timeless battle between light and darkness awaits. Subscribe now to uncover the secrets of Middle-earth and ignite your imagination with tales of heroism and hope. Ring the notification bell to never miss a new video.